because females are just what they present to be, and men are what we present to be. We are the ugly truth. That's why we don't mind going outside with a scruffy beard. And the women are a beautiful lie. That's why they all got different color makeup. That's why they all come outside with a mask and a wig. Real shit. And they never hold their counterparts or their friends accountable. Right. And case in point, right. A female paying everything in a household. When they break up, man, that shit burn your PlayStation, right? You better not take anything I bought, right? 100%. Am I lying?
Yeah, you right.
Reverse it. How many people we know from our perspective wouldn't give our grandmother's ring back?
Yeah.
How many we know from our perspective sitting there got half and half and half and blaming it on the betterment of the kids?
How long do you expect a man to deal with you before he actually makes it official?
I don't really care.
Like 5-6 months.
At least 4 months. I feel like 3 months is pretty reasonable.
3 months.
He don't have no months. He has 2 weeks to figure out what the fuck you want.
How long do you have to be dealing with a girl before you actually make her official?
Make her official? It take a little bit of time for me, bro.
A year. I can't put a time on it. I gotta put the vibe on it.
I usually give bitches 3 months, y'all.
I'll say 3 months.
Maybe like 4 or 5 months.
At least a year.
4 years. I gotta get to know her.
You listen, I had Terrence Crawford, I had Shakur Stevenson on stream recently. They said they could beat you in a fight. You know who that is, Terrence Crawford, Shakur Stevenson?
In a fight, they can beat me. I woke the floor with both of them. In a fight?
Well, yeah, they said they could beat you up.
And like in MMA.
Well, I think, they said boxing, chat, right?
Listen, if we are sharing this room right now, and we are like me, Crawford, and
Shakur.
Shakur. And someone has to make the bet. Who do you think is going to do? Well, both of them.
I think they said boxing.
Help each other. There's boxers, I swear to God, they are so fucking weird.
The boxers?
Yeah, bro. Generally, like, what the fuck are you talking about? You only know one part of the fighting game, which is like boxing, but you don't know everything about it. Wrestling, the ground game, like, it's different. I swear to God, if I have to go against both of them, I beat them ass.
I don't care. Tell him to come fight me.
Hold on a second. Alien Taporia. So yeah, he wants to fight you.
Come fight me.
Yeah, tell him to come fight me.
Let's go, buddy. Whenever you want.
7, come on. 9. Double it. 1, 2. Hurt him. Hurt him. Hurt him. Hurt his body. 5 seconds. 5. 7. 2. 4.
Sounded good, like, you know, he's not the one that's in the ring fighting, so he could say everything that he want to say on camera and make it look good to the fans. But at the end of the day, if we're talking about us fighting each other, it will be Devin getting in the ring. So you're going to walk me down. You're going to do all of these things. It sounds good, but once again, we in 8-ounce gloves and anybody can be hurt.
What do you take from the sparring session that Bill kept going back to? I never watched the whole thing. I seen clips. He said that Devin walked you down. I don't even know what year that was. Like, what do you take from that sparring session back then? I know it was a long time ago.
Man, it's weird because it's like I don't take nothing from it. What I take from it is like we sparred plenty of times. So like, which time are you talking about? We can't. It ain't like we didn't spar so many different times. Did you choose that sparring session specifically that you felt like you did good in, that made you get confidence or something? Like, I just don't understand it. So, honestly, from what I took with the sparring and every session that I had with him, I always felt like I was the better fighter. I never felt like he was a better fighter than me or did anything better than me. The only thing that he ever had over me when we sparred was size. But him being the younger fighter, I was always ahead. Like, I was always like the big brother that was ahead of him mentally.
What is the fight that you think in your gut, if you had to choose right now, is more realistic, or the fight you think may get done? A Ryan Garcia fight or a Devin Haney fight? Both of those fighters are heavier than you, so it's going to have to be some concessions with the weight.
Honestly, I don't see neither happening at 147 pounds unless it's under the rehydration rules that I said. So, if not, I don't see that happening right now. Now, in the future, as I grow more and get more settled, maybe so. But as of right now, nah, I don't see it happening at that weight class. Now, Ryan Garcia, he said 144. If he's willing to do that, I'm willing to make the fight happen. But Ryan sounds more realistic, if because he's being he's ready to move around.
That's crazy. I didn't realize that was Ryan's first world title. I'm looking how he's celebrating, and I'm thinking like, this look like this is his first world title. Now look, I was like, that is his first world title. He's been a professional for I think 10 years.
I mean,
great businessmen over there, but bro, they know exactly what they're doing. The reason why they try to go up and get another champion at 54, right? You better choose Xander. You better choose Xander. Like, they know how to pick them, gang. Think about me. Let's talk about my track history. I didn't have to fight Limos. Tyring had a whole nother opponent on the table. I fought Limos. I chose Limos. I didn't have to fight De Los Santos. I chose De Los Santos. These guys out here really choosing fighters that they really know they can beat. I can beat everybody, so I'm choosing anybody. That's the difference. Y'all need to wake up, bro. I'm really out here trying to fight any and everybody, bro. No cap. They can't. Nobody beat me. I'm the best in this sport, and I'm trying to show that. Let me show it, Devin. When I get myself in a real opportunity, I'm gunning for y'all. Super gunning for y'all. And when I see him at the weigh-ins, I see him at the weigh-ins for MSG. Right. I seen Bill. I walked up to Bill. I said what I said. And he told me to stand on it. And I said, after I knock Jermaine out, we gonna fight, right? I said that purposely because I'm the same person that was telling Jay Prince, after I knock Jermaine out, they not gonna wanna fight me. They gonna be like, nah, why I ain't get no call out? Why I ain't get no, we ain't reaching out? And I know what's going on in real time too. They really don't wanna fight me, bro. Which I understand. If I was in another man position seeing me, I probably wouldn't fight me neither. Thank God I'm me, right? Thank God I'm
the guy. Thank God I'm
like,
me.
Who called me out since I fought? Honestly, who was like, I want to fight him? I understand what's going on out here. They woke now. They woke, but nah, Devin, don't go pick on Xander. But I can go fight Xander. Don't go pick on Xander.
Hold up, and Devin's
pick
defense,
on me.
Hold up. We got to give credit to Devin for fighting Loma. You know what I'm saying? He has been calling everybody out. He fought Ryan.
You talking about the guy that fought Loma, that fought Jermaine Ortiz, had a good fight with him? That's what you talking about?
No, I'm saying still Lomachenko.
We can't say Devin Duncan.
Okay, I can't say it.
because he's already has a track record of fighting those.
All right, man, we in the building, man. I was gonna do this. I was gonna get an NBA stream. I wasn't gonna do this, and I was like, maybe I'll do it. So we here, man. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. We're gonna talk about why Shakur just won't fight Devin Haney if it's easy. Ennis and Ortiz is off. Eddie is talking like they ready to move on and pushing it back to May. Eddie Hearn a little bitter over Conor Ben. You know what I'm saying? And like I said before, somebody made it in the comment section in one of the videos. He made a great point. He says Eddie Hearn used and abused these fighters. He uses these fighters, and then when they're no longer of use to them and him anymore, he boots them to the side. And unfortunately, I mean, that's just the business. You know, your job wouldn't care about you if you wasn't at the job, if you wasn't an employee. They wouldn't piss on you to put you on fire out there in the real world. And basically what's going on is Conor Ben is messing with Zuffa. Now, apparently there's some different rumors going around what's going on with that contract. Some people say, I don't know what's going on, to be honest. Some people saying it's not for the full fight. It's a trial run. Honestly, I ain't counting this paper. I mean, if they give him $1 to fight a used and abused Regis Prograis, I mean, shout out to his manager. All right. And, you know, Eddie is out here pretty much getting mad at Conor Ben. I mean, an opportunity to make $15 million in one fight. What are we talking about loyalty? You know, where's the loyalty coming from? Ain't that much loyalty in the world, you know. You know, a lot of them fighters they was promoting over there in the UK, you know, back in the day, they you know, they went broke. They was stealing from them. So did you shoot him some bread because you were stealing from him? Let's keep it a bean. Let's keep it a bean. He wasn't shooting him no bread. You know, Conor Ben don't owe Chris Eubanks anything. So this is the whole thing is talking about, oh, they had the right to match Conor Ben's deal. But I'm about to play the audio in a minute. I'm getting it together. So they could have matched it. And my thing is this, even if he gone for 1 or 2 fights, $15 million for one fight. Like, Eddie Hearn now. How can you be mad at somebody for going to get $15 million in one fight? How can you get mad? And then it's all like, well, we had the right to match and we could have. You wasn't about to match that. You never know. A lot of people like to burn bridges. A lot of these people like to burn bridges, and then when y'all got to work back with each other, the bridge is burned or it's awkward.
I think it's not his fault, but he's changed a lot because of the money and everything. Like, it's just everything's different now. So, but it's just different type of people. Like, AJ gets an approach from someone around the back. He sends me the message within 10 seconds and goes, just wanted to let you know I've received this. Let me know what you want me to do. Or so. Like, it's a given that's your guy. I was listening to Terence Crawford's interview and I just found it so baffling that, like, he's never really, like, he's like, do you think these guys care about you? Do you think Eddie Hearn really cares about? I said, yeah, like 100%. They'll drop you tomorrow. No, he fucking wouldn't. What are you talking about? Like, Shalom's said, oh, funny, Eddie, AJ and Conor are like his 2 best friends in boxing. They're the ones that make him the most money. By the way, AJ is, yes. Conor's not. We've never really made, like, on the whole, as much money as we've made out of other people than Conor Ben.
My thing is this. Conor Ben's a smart man. Now, he's mad at Bud. Now, apparently, Terence Crawford said something. I'll try to dig that audio up. So apparently, Terence Crawford has something to say about the whole situation, right? And that's, for me, that's fine and dandy. Wholeheartedly, that's, his opinion, but he's right. They don't care about you. They don't care about you. And that's the whole thing about it. So we can sit here and we can have these conversations and all that stuff, but they don't care about you. And Anthony Joshua, that's just how Joshua move. I'm gonna tell Eddie every time I get a problem. I'm gonna tell Eddie. That's your relationship, and most people say Anthony Joshua is probably done, because when you done with Anthony Joshua, and if he down on his luck, you gonna make sure he good? Probably not. People seeing how you did Eddie Hearn, how you did Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? Like honestly, what you expect him to do? $15 million. You got the option to offer. Now, Conor Ben did turn around and say, Conor Ben did turn around and say, Conor Ben did turn around and say, he sent him a text message. But Terence Crawford is right. These people don't care about you. Look how when he stopped working with Devin Haney, how nasty things he had to say about Devin Haney. He had a lot of nasty things to say about Devin Haney. So act like they wasn't even cool. They act like it wasn't even a partnership or nothing like that. So Eddie Hearn can act like we fools, can act like we stupid, can act like we idiots and all that type of stuff. But is loyalty in the world? Is enough loyalty for you to make 15 to go back to probably making $2, $3, $4, $5 million? Like, come on, man. Eddie Hearn should just be like, you know what? Hey, he going over there to do his thing. He go over there and do his thing. I hope he come back and he does his thing and all that type of stuff. And when he get done over there, maybe he want to do that. But when he made that money with Chris Eubanks, one thing about people, dog, when they make money, it's hard for them to go back down and make money. See, a lot of people don't even understand, like, all right, you might make $28 an hour, right? You might make $28 an hour, right? But let's say you be like, oh, you get another opportunity. What that was. You might get another opportunity.
What's that meant for me?
No, that's my damn Alexa. But Yeah, but but you might take you go somewhere else, you make $26 an hour, right? But you got better benefits, so you save money on that. They might have a better, they might even give you. I done had jobs that give you bonds, stocks and bonds. It might be a shorter commute. You might be driving an hour. Hey, I'm 10 minutes from the crib. It's always more things that goes into a financial decision than just the money. But when the money is this great, some people drive 3 hours for it. Some people pick up and move their whole family for it. So, like I said, Eddie just be bitter, bro. It ain't nothing, for me. It ain't nothing to be bitter about. It's a one-off. Apparently, they want him to sign a long-term deal. And the very same dude that he going to work with, you work with first. You had the opportunity to do Zofa. You had the opportunity to cooperate and operate with Turkey Al-Sheikh. It didn't work. Come on. You said you were shining the man's shoes. Is you thirsty? Well, let's see what Crawford said.
Family. Conor Benn, he just signed with Zuffa. And a lot of people was saying he's disloyal and Eddie Hearns then was loyal to him and this and that and this.
He's getting $15 million for his last
I'm like,
fight.
man, what is people talking about? Right. I said, it's just business. It ain't personal with them, I bet. I said Conor Benn did what was best for him and his family. I said, just like the promotional company's going to do what's best for them and their business. If a fighter that they sign lose probably 2 straight, they get to cut him. No questions asked. Why? Because now they wasting money. They feel. They don't care about that person's family. They don't care about that person, relationship with them. They not going in there with their heart like, oh man, like you a good buddy. They like, sorry, it's just business.
And exactly. And you want to know what's so funny about it? He did it to Sabril Matias. When Matias got upset by Liam Paro, it was one fight into the deal. He gave him the boot. They have clauses in that contract where they can give your black ass the boot. So Eddie Hearn is just a liar, bro. That's why Turkey Al-Sheikh didn't stay working with them. They liars. They bad businessmen. They have no structure. They businesses don't have a really good business infrastructure. That's just the honest truth. That's the ugly truth about it. And Eddie Hearn is an English liar, man. He's a liar. He's a liar. When Devin left, he ain't had nothing good to say about Devin. It was fighting over tickets. He ain't had nothing good to say about him, right? Right. And if AJ left, he'd be saying a lot of things about Anthony Joshua. Brad ain't your friend, especially when they go from Brad to a black man, regardless of what Conor Benn and them identify as, Nigerian, black, whatever. You still black to Brad. You still black to Brad. They ain't got no love for y'all, bro. His father said, we used to slave trade you niggas. Now y'all tell us what to do. And that's not even true. These other people, they still operate and make more money off you, these business people. And he got mad for Terrence Crawford for keeping it a bean. People only get mad at something, when it's the truth. That's when people really get mad. Now, for people to get mad about lies got to start spreading and people got to start believing lies like the truth. So then that's what it boiled down to. But Eddie Hearn is losing power. The very same guy that you said you would shine his boost to just took Conor Benn. And if they treat Conor Benn good in boxing, basically mean if that fucking check clear and it's good and that money good and everything is average to copacetic, guess what? You know what I'm saying? He gonna stay over there. He gonna stay. It ain't nothing wrong with it. Nobody thinks Conor Benn is this godly, worldly fighter. Was you gonna find a way to make him $15 million in the next 3 fights? The next 2 fights? Probably not. We could have matched. You had nowhere, and you couldn't match. You done had a firepower to match. Y'all can't compete with Turkey Al-Sheikh, and that's okay. That's okay, and that's probably for the real talk. When you dig a little bit deeper, and I'm about to hit the blunt twice and switch lanes, figuratively, right? And when you dig a little bit deeper into it, that's probably why he didn't let Boots fight Vergil Ortiz. This is probably why he was negotiating behind Boots' back. Y'all got to see the deeper play here, because if Boots directly plugged into Turkey Al-Sheikh, guess what? He just read up with Eddie Hearn, right? So if he plugged in with Turkey Al-Sheikh and he started negotiating the Vergil Ortiz fight with Turkey Al-Sheikh, I'm talking about the first time they supposed to fight. Let's just say nothing came of it. Now Turkey got a relationship with Jerron Ennis. They already have a working relationship, and all Jerron Ennis was do was gonna just, give Eddie Hearn the boot. That's all. That's why Frank Warren pretty much suing, because Turkey Al-Sheikh was allowed to get close to their fighters. He was allowed to get closer than close. Yeah. Let's get closer. Closer than close. Shout out to Atlantic Star. Get closer and close. So he was able to get close, form relationships, and then finesse their fighters. They can't go dollar for dollar with Turkey Al-Sheikh. Days at the titty bar, man. Shit, Turkey Al-Sheikh can make it rain all night. So that's the real. That's what's real. That's the honest to God truth. He got close to their fighters, and that's what they see. You be like, well, why Oscar and Eddie ain't suing? They still can fuck hoes. That's why. You know what I'm saying? They still can live their life. They still fertile. They still can sit down and take a shit and get back up and don't need a fucking walker. Frank Warren turned 74 today. Frank Warren ain't got nothing to lose. Don King, 94 years old. Of course they can go at Turkey Al-Sheikh. If Turkey Al-Sheikh clipped them wings and send them to the upper room, they was on their way there anyway. That's why now Heyman didn't lose nothing. Al Heyman game was won. When Al Heyman finessed these niggas out their money and still finessing them out their money and can't be nowhere to be found, he won. He didn't care nothing about losing no David Benavidez. David Benavidez was small potatoes, man. He didn't care. He made his money off these dudes. He made his money. And I've been seeing people talk about Mayweather, see the baby mother talking about Mayweather. I see the Miss Jackson trying to spin the block on Mayweather and shit like that. Let me tell y'all this before we switch topics, man. These bitches can't wait to see y'all lose, bro. Your mother, it needs to be your sister, the ex that did you dirty, that left you. You know what I'm saying? They can't wait to see you lose. They can't wait to see you lose. They have your motherfucking pogo stick in their mouth for hoping you lose. That's why I say watch who you bump energy with. But look at DMX family. They so broke. They're doing a documentary talking about things that he already talked about. They can't wait to see you lose, bro. A lot of people get more joy out of seeing people lose than get joy out of seeing people genuinely happy. It's crazy, bro. All these people speaking, all these hoes speaking bad on them or trying to spin the block. Nah, bitch. I wasn't bad when I was hitting it from the back. It wasn't bad when you needed that child support or you needed some money. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. I'm like, damn, kick a nigga when he down. But I was good enough to have a child. I was good enough to have a child, which was ridiculous, right? So, yeah, I'm telling y'all, man, watch who you, man. It's some people you got to cut off, dog. There's some people you got to cut off that'll damn near bring a tear to your eye, but got to do it to keep moving forward. But salute. Yeah, that video, I had already seen the Easter egg hunt video. Yeah, I had seen that joint. I've seen it, but shout out, it was a good video. He had one about the Survivor series. Survival. I never know they did the Battle of Sex. How long has Survival been on? That shit been on for years. Black Jericho, salute. Chief Red Kyle, salute. He said there's only one fight for Ryan, and it's dead part 2. I don't really care to see none of them, to be honest. I'd rather these brothers fight each other and make Ryan and Tio female fight each other. Ricky 245. 9. Where did 9 come from, nigga? Where did 9 come from, man? Y'all New York niggas just be adding stuff. You know what I'm saying? I told T.R. stop talking about my mom. You know what I'm saying? G snitch unit. Yeah, snitch unit, man. I ain't never snitched on nobody, man. It's G unit, I can't rate no more. You see me writing these shitty ass shows? You can't rate no rips no more, man. Tell T.R. to stop rapping about me, son. I don't rate no more, Banks don't want to rate for me no more. I'm starting to think 50 never was a rapper, bro. I don't think 50 ever wrote rhymes. That to Banks, write something, man. Banks was writing for all of us, man. You know what I'm saying? He was writing for Tony Ayo, you know what I'm saying? We need Banks. Let me call the game. The game, son. The game can write my raps for me. 50 can't rap, bro. I'm starting to think 50 was never an able rapper. That's what I'm starting to think, bro. You gonna let dude run down on you like that, kid? You gonna let that dude run down on you like that, son? Come on, man. But I don't know if somebody tagged me in a post or something, or I seen it. So let me see if I can go find it. So apparently Eddie Hearn and them was talking about, he may have to it's time for them to move on from Jerron Ennis and Vergil Ortiz, by early, I think he said next week, and then the manager, what's his name, Rick Mirgit, he was all in the he was in the comment section and shit, and I'm trying to find a video for y'all, so let me find a video. So okay, so we got some more action, so fuck the video. We got a couple action here, so let's get this together. Let's get closer and closer than most. So apparently we got this going on right here. We got a little bit more. Till Binks, I'm screen sharing them. Snitch unit. He said, I'll pay my attorney $100 to let me reply to this, but I'm on a gag order. Okay. So Vergil Ortiz, manager said he is currently on a gag order, cannot respond. Obviously, it's a lawsuit to Eddie Hearn's interview on Fight Hub TV saying they might put a plug on the Vergil Ortiz fight due to litigation. So they, Vergil trying to get back in the ring. Like I said, can't nobody pretty much miss a paycheck out here, right? Wonder why Christmas missed us. No heat. So, Vergil Ortiz took to social media. My manager tells me we haven't received not one single offer from your side. So I don't know when the date is this. Maybe tell your side to get on the phone for. This got to be old. That got to be old. So excuse me on that one. That got to be old. Let me double check this date of this tweet. That got to be old. Yeah, that's old. That's old. So that was up. So let me see if I can find the original. Here we go. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna play the audio with what Eddie said. So, and then we go through the comment section. So give me a minute. I'm too Banks, man. I was snitching all on the ghetto Quran, man. I snitch on everybody. I'm from New York. New York, we just snitch. We the biggest snitches in the world, man. We the biggest snitches in the world. Atlanta trying to snitch like New York. New York nigga, fuck that nigga, man.
Return now. And
update on what's going on with Jerron Ennis and Vergil Ortiz?
I mean, I don't know what to say, really, Mark. I think obviously there's a lot going on, and a lot of that is out of our control. I had a call with Jerron Ennis last night, who's been remarkably patient and also extremely trustworthy on us, which you will see will not go unnoticed. We will deliver for Jerron Boots Ennis, and his next fight will be a big fight of great importance. Whether that will be against Vergil Ortiz, we shall find out very soon. However, what I will say is you will find out soon, because, the one thing that we said, obviously he fought in November, we're due to fight in April. May is, going to be the date that he's going to return now. And I think he understands how much everybody's tried to make this fight all round. Whether that's from us, whether that's from the zone, even from Vergil Ortiz, and Golden Boy before then, I just really hope it gets over the line. I think, we were talking earlier about as a team, if we get this fight made, sometimes we like to come up with strap lines. Like if you think back to like Mayweather Pacquiao, was it the one, like all this different stuff. And the guys, some of the creative team were like, what do you think? I said, I don't think we need a strap line for this fight. I'm just going to put a big text at the top of the artwork that says the greatest fight in American boxing. And that's it, because that's honestly how I feel about it. Like right now, the drama around the making of this fight, as soon as if this gets dropped, it's going to break the boxing internet in terms of excitement. But tell me a better fight in American boxing than Boots against Ortiz. I feel like it's hard to do that. And that's how, if it ever got made, that's how we would market the fight. Two of the best fighters in the world. And for me, number one and number two in the division with Josh, Kelly, and Xander's eyes breathing down their neck. But this is it. This is the one. We want to make it so bad. We will see. I can't tell you it's imminent, but I can tell you that over the next few days we have to pull the trigger.
I can't dispute what he's saying as far, especially if you're just talking about the action pack that you get in the ring between Jerron Boots Ennis and Vergil Ortiz. I think there is no probably fighting boxing at that level. I don't really care about the world title being on the line. That's probably so many question marks to be answered, especially on the boot side. And yeah, so many question marks to be answered on the boot side. But also there's some questions to be asked about, a lot of questions to be asked about Vergil Ortiz. So, I mean, honestly, man, I just think that I agree. This is probably the best fight to make in boxing because, you don't see situations like this where you have, guys with a lot of question marks, a lot of excitement, punch throwing, not a lot of defense in this particular fight. We've seen that Vergil can take a punch. Question is, can Boots take a punch? Speed. Vergil got some explosive hands. Boots is very explosive. I mean, I don't really think you can miss. So, but obviously, what's going on? Rick Merritt want to say something. I mean, but you under gag order. I mean, at the end of the day, what else can we say? That's a great question. What else can be said from him? Either they're gonna make the fight or not make the fight. So, I'm pretty sure, if he needed to, he can get the word back to Eddie Hearn on how close we can make this fight. How close are we to make this fight? If Eddie Hearn had said nothing, they put a temporary restraining order on him. So regardless of what does or doesn't happen in this situation, if the fight is off the table, right? If the fight is off the table and Boots moves on, all right, where do we go from in litigation? Where do we go in litigation from here for Vergil Ortiz? So it's just a lot of things that's been said, and it's gonna be interesting. So you can go to the comment section, and Boots is fighting Madrimov, confirmed. I don't know who that is. Obviously, that's the manager right there. Said he under gag order. So we're waiting for Vergil. Eddie is tread real light, get Boots a belt or get him Vergil Ortiz. I mean, what belt he gonna get? Josh Kelly, is that what they consider a big fight? I mean, I know Josh Kelly was interested in fighting Conor Ben. That's not happening. There also was some interest from somebody else. So, for the most part, the Josh Kelly fight probably lined up. So I'm not mad at it. If he fighting Josh Kelly next, I don't really give a damn about that fight, because when that just proves how much of a pussy he is, because when the fighter that called him a fucking gorilla, which he still ain't fucking responded to that. When that dude that called him a gorilla had the belt, he didn't want to fight. So his fans vicariously lived through Josh Kelly winning. I'm just thinking, like, look how lame this generation is. Like, y'all celebrating a guy beating a guy that your guy ducked is ridiculous. It's hilarious. He said, if not Vergil, fight Charlo. He's the real king of the division. Stop him, and he's the man. Well, he's not the king of the division. He ain't the king of the division. He ain't the linear champion. He's a dude that went up to 178 pounds and 68 pounds. I don't care about Charlo. Let that motherfucker, let him pretty much drown in his own tears. That's what I would say. Let him drown in his own tears. He did all this. I ain't fighting this guy. I'm in the driver's seat. Nah, nigga. See you at the retirement line. If they can't get it, move on. Why sit on the shelf for something that's probably not gonna happen? Don't see Xander or Kelly fight because they could fight each other. That's a good point. But the difference between that particular fight is that Boots will go overseas and Xander not trying to go overseas. Xander trying to bring him to New York. Xander trying to bring him to Puerto Rico. I would say Xander need to bring Josh Kelly to New York for Puerto Rican Day Parade weekend. But for when it's sounding like from me reading between the tea leaves or Devin going after Xander Zayas, Devin and Xander Zayas probably gonna fight Puerto Rican Day Parade weekend. That make a lot of sense. Dev already fought in the city. He fought in Brooklyn. They can go to Madison Square Garden. They can do that fight. And Kelly and Jerron Boots Ennis can do their second-rate fight overseas. So if I had to guess with no inside information, I would say the best bet is Kelly and Jerron Boots Ennis. I don't care to see the fight. I don't give a fuck who win that fight because he was too much of a pussy to go fight Mazaliev and take the belt. So I don't care nothing about it. But, I really don't care for Devin and Xander Zayas, but it's interesting. Devin going to pick, we've seen cherry picks go wrong. Devin going to pick on Xander Zayas to get another belt. And all that's going to do is up the price. It's going to up his bag. So, it's a dangerous fight. No respect for Xander Zayas. And Zayas will feel a level of disrespect, honestly. A guy that just got to 147 see you as a sweet lick. And let's not forget, people say, well, he wouldn't fight Boots. Well, he already tried to fight Boots at 47, and Boots talking about he couldn't make the weight. So he don't owe shit from Boots. So Boots was like, nah, I don't want to fight you, nigga. So I don't owe shit to Boots. I gave Boots an opportunity. He probably get them 2 belts, drop them belts, and go back to 147 pounds. So, so be it. If that's what they want to do, that's what they want. But he got to beat Xander Zayas. I don't see anything impressive about Xander Zayas. He like eating plain Lay's potato chips. I like him, but he just playing. I don't see nothing special about Xander. He just Danny Garcia without the no look left hook. This man done sat Boots out for 6 months waiting on Vergil Ortiz. Yeah, that's cool. You can also make the case that, Vergil and him waited around. Vergil waited for them to fight last time. But shit, it is what it is. Boots and Xander are not happening next. That ain't happening next. I'll tell you that right now. Why fight Boots, right? Why fight Boots when you can fight Devin? The more money, easier fight. It's just what it is. So we'll see what happens with Vergil Ortiz. And Eddie and them, I ain't mad about it. Shit, they got to move on, get him an IBF title, and then after that, where do we go after that? Fondor didn't have every belt in the division at some point, right? But the IBF, I think he never had the IBF. Fondor had every belt in the division, but the IBF, he dropped every belt. Fondor should be one phone call away. He should be one footstep away from being undisputed champion. He should be trying to get the IBF belt. He had the WBA, he had the WBC, still got that. Had the WBO, he dropped the WBA because of Bud. And he probably gonna never make as much money as he would have made in his career fighting Bud. He ain't getting no money. Sebastian Fondor ain't getting no money. But you know what I'm starting to think? I'm starting to think Sebastian Fondor didn't want a drug test. That's what I'm starting to think. I'm starting to think this month. I've already had my suspicions about him. But I'm starting to think he didn't want a drug test. And that's why he didn't want to fight Bud. Now he coming back versus Keith Thurman and he tore his bicep. And how you tell your fucking bicep? You know what I mean? So I'm starting to think like, this motherfucker's fishy. Just think about it. You know what I'm saying? So now he going to fight Keith Thurman. Keith looking, that's another fight. It's like, for what? Why do we need to see this fight? Respectfully, why do we need to see this fight with Keith Thurman and him? No, at one point, I feel like Vergil Ortiz, Sebastian Fondor, he got the WBC right now. He had the WBA, lost it. He had the WBO too. That's how Xander got the WBO. Or am I tripping? Sebastian Fondor had 3 belts in this division, and that's after that loss. He had 3 belts in the division. I could be wrong. I feel like when he fought Tim Tszyu, yes. When he fought Tim Tszyu, he was unified WBC, WBO. It won't show the WBA on BoxRec because they don't recognize it because of Turkey starting his own thing. But he had the WBA and he dropped the WBA because of Bud. That's how Bud got the WBA belt. So Fondor had 3 belts. Fondor realistically should be 1 belt away from being undisputed champion. Realistically. He should be one belt away. He should be one belt away. So it's crazy. It's crazy. Jay Hardaway, salute. He said, Key packing up Aaron the plumber. Oblivion right now. He's going to be back. Scheduled program. I mean, he fighting. He just trying to get his shit up, man. Like I said, he didn't want to fight Devin either. He trying to fight Lamont Peterson. I don't care to see that fight neither. But he only had 2. He had 3. That's how Bud got the WBA. I'm trying to tell you. Bud got the WBA because they stripped him. He had 3 belts after he took his first loss. He came off a loss and fought for 2 of them. It said right there. It won't show the WBA because they beefing with them. So he came off a loss to Mendoza, won the WBO versus Tim Tszyu. They put the WBC on the line. And somewhere in there, he had the WBA, and they stripped him. They stripped him of that WBA. The more to lose, then keep drugging, going under radar. Vergil trying to find the lick like the rest of the paper champions. Yeah, yeah. Bud beat Madrimov for the WBO and Barrow. No. Before that, how Bud got the WBA because they took it from Fondora. You forgot? They ordered Bud versus Fondora. Fondora dropped out, and that's how they stripped him of the WBA. That's how Bud got it. Remember they was talking about Bud and Fondora gonna fight for the WBA, and then he got into the ring with old buddy. He got into the ring with Errol Spence. And that was their way of ducking out of that fight. I'm telling you, bro. That's how Bud got the WBA belt. I think Madrimov might have been the Madrimov might have been like the Reggie champion or something like that. But nonetheless, that is what it is. But originally that dude had that belt. Oh, buddy had that belt. I think it was the WBA. I'm trying to tell you, bro. It was the WBA. How y'all think Madrimov never was a world champion? He was the Reggie. I'm trying to tell y'all. Y'all forgot what happened? Trying to tell y'all, bro. Damn, was it the WBA? Maybe I was right. I'm pretty sure the WBA too was on the line. I want to say that's how he got it. Let me see. That's how he got it, bro. Because I want to say it was the WBA. I could be wrong on that. Maybe somebody who I got stripped Charlo. My bad. It was Charlo. My bad. It was Charlo. It was Charlo got stripped. My bad. It was Charlo. My bad. My bad. It was bitch ass Charlo. Yeah, bitch ass Charlo. Yeah, it was Charlo. It was Charlo. Yeah, it was bitch ass Charlo. Yeah. Forgot about that whole ass nigga. Call me a whole ass nigga. I ain't a whole ass nigga. Yeah, he knocked I think the African guy out. I forget the name. The dude he knocked out. It was the African guy he fought. But yeah. Forgot about Charlo. Little Charlo, bro. I forgot about little Charlo. Hold on. But yeah, shit, it is what it is. With Fondora and them, but but I want to, but hey, like I said, where's we was at with it? Yeah, but Jerron Ennis, shit, I believe it'd be Josh Kelly. Yeah, I believe it'd be Josh Kelly. So be it. And if Fondora, not Fondora, but the better question is what happens after that with old buddy, with Vergil Ortiz, all of a sudden it's them and Golden Boy go make up with each other, or I mean that's what I'm worried about. We'll have Vergil Ortiz after this, but yeah, it should be an interesting fight, bro. Should be an interesting fight, man. So, but it's boxing without Turkey. You think they can make a fight of this caliber? I don't think so. I think Golden Boy and them is doing this on purpose. If I had to be honest, Golden Boy and them is doing this shit on purpose. They are doing this shit on purpose, bro. Vergil never wanted to fight Boots, still don't want to fight Boots. I think it's just to the point where this I don't believe this to be true. I think this is a fake beef for this to blow over. They can blow this over. And then guess what? They can turn around and continue their career and try to get an easy belt. I don't put nothing past Hector, man. I think all these Hectors in on it together. I think all these Hectors in on it together. I think all these Hectors are working together. That's my opinion. I think all these Hectors is working together. That's my humble opinion. I think all these Hectors is working together. If y'all think they really beefing like that, I mean, that's up to y'all. I don't see them. I don't believe they really beefing like that. They doing this because they don't want to fight. And then they was really trying to negotiate with Boots, knowing that Boots wasn't ready to move up, so they didn't have to fight Boots. Vergil Ortiz is a pathetic piece of shit. Real talk, that's what he is. He don't want to fight regardless. He ain't said nothing this whole thing. Even before this legally, he ain't made a statement. Them niggas don't want to fight. Don't forget, before his last fight, his daddy said, no, we ain't fighting no Boots. Boots, who said we fighting Boots? What? We ain't doing it. He told y'all we ain't doing that. He said we ain't doing that. His father came on and said, who said we doing that? I ain't doing this. Do what? Who, what? We're fighting Boots. We ain't doing that. Now who said we fight him? You forget his father came out and said that. They going by any means necessary. They going by any means necessary not to make this fight happen. Any means necessary not to make this fight happen, bro. It's sad though. But I do agree with Eddie Hearn. This is the best fight to make in boxing. So many questions about both fighters. You know what I'm saying? So many questions in this, they both ain't no defensive fighters. They throw punches, both explosive. The foregone conclusion is that Boots is just gonna win this fight. But then again, also another situation is this: we ain't seen Boots in no tussle for real. And when we seen Boots get challenged by Karen Shakur saying, "I ain't like the corner work," they was in that bitch pen. Just knock him out. Just knock him out. I think this is a 50-50 fight. Just for the simple fact that people just going off the eye test of Vergil Ortiz. I mean, off of Ennis. Vergil Ortiz is actually the more battle-tested warrior. Boots ain't been in the battle. Boots ain't been in the battle. Boots ain't been in them trenches. Tell me I'm lying. Boots ain't been in them trenches. Brother, Vergil Ortiz don't have the footwork that Karen Shakur had, but we also seen Vergil Ortiz struggle with a slick UK fighter, Michael McKisson. If McKisson can punch, Vergil probably have a loss on his resume. So that's what make the fight so interesting. But let's go.
Fighting, so he could say, it sounded good. Like, he's not the one that's in the ring fighting, so he could say everything that he want to say on camera and make it look good to the fans, but at the end of the day, if we're talking about us fighting each other, it will be Devin getting in the ring. So you're going to walk me down. You're going to do all of these things. It sounds good, but once again, we in 8-ounce gloves and anybody can be hurt.
What do you take from
Not by you, nigga. Not by you.
the sparring session that Bill kept going back to? I never watched the whole thing. I seen clips. He said that Devin walked you down. I don't even know what year that was. Like, what do you take from that sparring session back then? I know it was a long time ago.
Man, it's weird because it's like I don't take nothing from it. What I take from it is like we sparred plenty of times. So like, which time are you talking about? We can't. It ain't like we didn't spar.
You know exactly what time he was talking about. They alluded to the footage that Dante had to take down, put back up, take down, put back up.
so many different times. Did you choose that sparring session specifically that you felt like you did good in, that made you get confidence or something? Like, I just don't understand it. So, honestly, from what I took with the sparring and every session that I had with him, I always felt like I was the better fighter. I never felt like he was a better fighter than me or did anything better than me. The only thing that he ever had over me when we sparred was size. But him being the younger fighter, I was always ahead. Like, I was always like the big brother that was ahead of him mentally.
What is the fight that you think in your gut, if you had to choose right now, is more realistic, or the fight you think may get done? A Ryan Garcia fight or a Devin Haney fight? Both of those fighters are heavier than you, so it's going to have to be some concessions with the weight.
Honestly, I don't see neither happening at 147 pounds unless it's under the rehydration rules that I said. So, if not, I don't see that happening right now. Now, in the future, as I grow more and get more settled, maybe so. But as of right now, I don't see it happening at that weight class. Now, Ryan Garcia, he said 144. If he's willing to do that, I'm willing to make the fight happen. But Ryan sounds more realistic because he's being he's ready to move around.
That's crazy. I didn't realize that was Ryan's first world.
So like I said before, these niggas just be talking, bro. They just talk. It's no, oh, they too big. No, you lobbied to go fight Conor Ben at 47. Conor Ben was like, pussy nigga, let's do it. Then you start talking about a rehydration clause. Then we can go back to the clip where you said the rehydration clause. We can go back to the clip where you said the rehydration clause was for pussies. For weak people. Tank do the rehydration clause and the catch weight, and I don't want none of that. I don't want them taking away my victory, but now all of a sudden you in the position I ain't fighting at that weight, and I'm not. Okay, cool. You said that you was gonna go snatch a title at 140 and go back down to 135 with Abdullah Mason or Shaki Foster. Now, what are we doing? That's the question. What are we doing? It's just like this a nigga that don't have a plan. You don't have a plan. What's the plan? Either you going up to 47, right? Or you're going to go stay at 40, or you're going to go back down to 135. My thing is this. It's always bullshit, dog. If you that good, go to 47. Like, dog, every fight that you've been in, you've had a size advantage over damn near everybody. When you were squeezing down to 126 pounds, everybody was bigger than you. You was at 130, you was towering, bigger than Oscar Valdez. When you was at 35, you was bigger than everybody not named Edwin De Los Santos. So at the end of the day, your whole career, even with T.O., a little nigga, your whole career, you always had a size advantage. Maybe not against the Namibian cop, but you had experience versus him. Maybe not against Edwin De Los Santos, but you ran the whole night. My thing is this. What's the problem with going up to 104? If you'd inspire Gary Anton Russell. You talking about you'd inspire Sean Porter. If him, what's the problem with going up to 147 pounds? I don't really understand the malfunction there. I don't understand what's the issue of going to 147 pounds. If Shakur Stevenson is that good and you was willing to go up there for Conor Ben until he called the bluff, he was okay. I'll fight you at 47. Then you start copping pleas. Oh, we got to do a catch weight, or you got to come in same day weigh in. You got to wear Reeboks instead of Nikes. Hey, you know what I'm saying? It started to be like, we know he just talking, bro, because you still ain't rematched Edwin De Los Santos. Keyshawn still ain't got in there with Edwin De Los Santos. We know why they don't want to go up and weight. They gonna get knocked out. And him saying, well, anybody can be hurt at 8 hours. Look, not by you, nigga. You had a dead Teofimo Lopez in front of you, and there was nobody hurting to make him into that fight. That was a G-rated film. You heard what Bernie the Boxer said. Oh, they just going, Devin too big. He said Devin too big. Forget about it, Shakur. That's what he said. But if you that good, I mean, what you need concessions for? If you was just that much better, then what you need concessions for? Go up there and disarm him. I need a catch weight, man. Like, who you think you is? Sugar Ray Leonard, nigga? You ain't Sugar Ray Leonard. You ain't nowhere close to that. You think you Big Meech, Floyd Mayweather, One Nation, underboxing, nigga? No, you're not none of that. You was just on Edwin Belanga's undercard 2 fights ago, my G. Before that, you was fighting Joshua Padley on somebody's undercard. So for you to act like I'm this big baller, big shot caller in my Jamie Foxx voice, man, shut the front door and the side door and the back door. Close all the windows. So what it is, you gonna go to 40 and you gonna fight Gary, and Gary, oh man, Shakur is this, and he's sucking Shakur down. Like, okay, nigga. Hope you get your happy ending right on your fucking lips. I don't want to see none of this shit. All these dudes talk so much shit and then they don't fight nobody you want to see them fight. Who the champions in that division? And now everybody chasing Dalton Smith. So you ain't gonna fight Richardson Hitchison. That's my brother. We slept in the bed together. We played PlayStation 2 together. You, Gary Anton Russell didn't bow out, so they all chasing Dalton. Who you gonna fight? Pitbull Cruz? Keep it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it, dog. These, oh yeah, we could do this, and I'm the best in the world, and yeah, okay, you the best. Go fight Devin then. You was that so much better than Devin. Anybody can be hurt in 8-ounce gloves. What we waiting on? Go to 147, little nigga. You just so much skill for bills and this, that, and that. Man, come on, man. Nigga just talking, man. Him and Keyshawn just running their mouth, and they don't have no shame in bagging down. They don't have no shame in bagging down, bro. None whatsoever. They have no shame. Oh yeah, I fought Edwin De Los Santos. Niggas like, when did Keyshawn fight Edwin De Los Santos? I missed that. So why don't you go fight Mason and Foster then? What's the problem with that? This motherfucker been bigger than every opponent he fight. That don't make you skilled, nigga. That don't make you a great fighter. You've been squeezing. We seen what happened when Broner started fighting niggas this size. Boom, bing, bop, bing, boom, bing, bam. So once you go up to 47 and prove how skillful you are. Devin don't hit that hard anyway. Prove it. But then he like, oh, fight Ryan at 140. Okay, cool. I mean, we'll do that proof. Ryan, blow the weight. Ryan, make the weight, lose, drain. They ain't gonna strip him at 147. He gonna lose to you and Bill be a champion at 147. I just took from the sparring that I was always ahead. All right, if you always ahead, nigga, let's see it. Let's see you and Devin in the ring at 147. Let's set the trend of blacks fighting blacks in boxing. Well, he got to do it. He got to catch these nuts. Rehydrate these nuts, bro. Go be a man. Strap your nuts on. Go fight at 47 and do it, because nobody told you to hobby lobby for 147 pounds. He hobby lobbied for 147 pounds. He did that. He hobby lobbied for 147 pounds. He said, I go up and fight Conor Benn at 147. Okay, cool. Conor Benn was like, what it do? Oh, I need to have rehydration clause, man. Oh, man, I need this. And oh, Devin too big. And all right, I thought you was the next Mayweather. Ryan made 140 one time. But unfortunately, I think you may be right too, because that fight was supposed to be at 35 when he fought that African. Remember? He made one. It was supposed to be at 135. He fought that Tago. They were supposed to fight at 135, but he made 140 versus Fortuna. So he's made 40 versus Fortuna, and he been obviously the Tago fight. He was supposed to be at 35. They changed the weight, so he's made it. So unfortunately, Shakur just talking, man. And then they just be lobbying information that we didn't ask for. Look here, bro. Nobody was saying, hey, Shakur need to fight Devin. Shakur need to go to welterweight. Not no nigga was saying that, bro. You offered your services to go to 147 to fight Conor Benn. People like, might want to see no weak ass Conor Benn. Why don't you fight Devin then if you willing to go to 47? Then he started copping pleas, nigga, like a New York nigga going to fucking court. Yeah, I put a plea in. I snitch on everybody. So I snitch on everybody in Queens. That's what we do in New York. I would snitch on everybody. I'm joking. Then dude, fuck you, man. I snitch on her. I snitch on my grandma. She stole a skillet from Family Dollar in 1999. I got the receipt. And they can start copping pleas. He going around act like we ain't see the Edwin De Los Santos fight. Boy, oh boy, bare minimum, you should have a draw. Then you say, I go back down to 140 or 135. Okay, shit, Abdullah Mason at 135. Oh, Shocky Foster there. He can't go back down there neither. Tank coming back. Floyd Schofield could be getting the title. Lamont Roach down there. So what the deal is? What the deal is? Shakur ain't no different from the rest of these fighters. They want to stretch it out as long as they can. He's no different than anybody else. They want to stretch it out as long as they can. They want to go as long as possible without fighting a top level opponent. That is the aim. That's the name of the game. They want to go as long as possible without fighting a top level opponent. Real talk. Real talk. They want to go as long as possible without fighting the top. And then, you know, I seen Tim Bradley talk about Tank wasting his prime years. Them years are over with. Tank is no longer in his prime, bro. Tank is no longer in his prime. He 31 years old. That's not young in boxing, bro. When you accumulate all the sparring, when you accumulate, you know, all the fights, you know, from the amateurs to the pro, 30 is your prime is gone. Now you can point to this guy, he did good at no. Yeah, he did good, but physically, your pinnacle physically is when you're young, your 20s. Is when you're in your 20s. He 31 years old. The best physical version of Tank is gone. Let me tell you that right now. The best, and then you talking about niggas 31, 28, right? 31, 28, and they fighting once a year. Prime is gone, bro. Y'all just don't see it yet. Y'all don't see it. Because they ain't fighting nobody and they still looking good. You know, now this is when you start becoming 31, 30, 32, your mental start carrying. So you end up mentally, you done fought so much, you mentally know how to win fights. So your mind is winning fights. You still not old where you look slow, but your ability to recover the way you used to recover, your reflexes ain't what they used to be when they was 25, 24, but your mind started helping you see holes that you didn't see before. So physically, they're not prime no more, but mentally around that age, they got so much knowledge, but really not as much knowledge as an old 30-year-old used to have, an old 29-year-old used to have, a 31, 30, because they ain't fought enough. A lot of the experience they got is in that sparring, and sparring is what take the most out of a fighter when they spar too much. Or a lot of the injuries happen in sparring. A lot of their youth get left in sparring. Especially in this generation, a lot of they youth is left in the gym. It ain't left in the ring. And unfortunately, you ain't gonna see the best Gervonta Davis that you could have seen. He didn't fight enough. The best Gervonta Davis didn't reach his full potential and won't reach his full potential. A lot of these fighters won't. You're gonna have fighters that's gonna retire with less than 40 fights. Think about that for a minute. How do you get better doing something? They say you have to master something. What do you got to do? 1,000,000 repetitions to be considered a master or something? None of these dudes gonna go down to master. This is why the quality of boxing sucks. This is why, this is why you see the quality of boxing stuff. These motherfuckers trash. Don't know how to make no adjustments. Don't know how to change the speed of their punches. Don't know how to put combinations together. Everybody throw 1 or 2 punches and get out the way. Everybody want to get back on defense. You don't have motherfuckers like Pacquiao who really looking to turn their offense into defense. The offense is their defense. Few far in between where you got real exciting fighters left. Few far in between. They relied on their power. They relied on their defense. They relied on the 1-2. These motherfuckers is trash once you look at it. Respectfully, they trash. Watch how Hagler used to fight and do certain things and step over and use his footwork. Motherfuckers ass. You got some good masters out there. Crawford was a master. Usyk mastered himself, mastered his style. You got some good, and then you see guys like Onuyue who throw punches. Well, niggas, his defense is so trash, and man, give a fuck. At least the shit is exciting. At least he throwing punches. I seen Shakur throw a punch on film. This nigga was dodging before he even turned the punch over, bro. I was laughing like a mug. Go watch that Patreon video I did on him and T.O. breakdown. The shit was atrocious, dog. But Bradley said Tank's giving his prime away. He said, guess who knocked his ass out? Bradley said Garcia, Tank Davis. Okay, I don't know. Where's the quote at? So Tim Bradley says Gervonta is wasting his prime years by not consistently facing the division's toughest opponents. The former 2-division champion urged Davis to take bigger risks. On a recent video, Bradley describes watching a 12-year-old dominate his son's league, scoring at will and overpowering smaller opponents. The kid was bigger and stronger and faster than everyone in the division, yet hesitant to move up to the 14 and under group. He was comfortable where he was at. Bradley challenged him to test himself against older competition. The following week, the boy did it, and he thrived. He said Bradley turned the same challenge towards Tank Davis. Right now, you losing player, you lose it. He said, take that chance, man, take that risk. But you got to understand too. You got to understand how PBC operate, how they see things. They just see one big fight as a cash out, not cash in. This is why they nickel and dime their way to one big fight, and they always lose because it's the mentality. Because mentality should be looking at, I take a big fight, I cash in. But you wait until you're in your 30s to get your first big fight and you lose, mentally, it's a wrap. But if you take your big first fight at like Norman and you lose 23, 24 years old, you still made $3 million. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? Norman got 7 more years of physical prime years left. He can recover. If he's mentally strong enough, he will recover and come back. It ain't nothing new. Tevin Farmer lost, his few of his first 10 or 15 fights, and he still became a world champion. Bernard Hopkins lost his first professional fight and still went down as one of the greatest fighters of all time. You had guys like Thomas Delorme who got knocked out by Arbergu and never recovered. But you had a guy in Lomachenko lose his second professional fight to a guy like Orlando Salido, didn't let it deter him, came back and whooped Gary Anton Russell's ass. Gary Russell Jr.'s ass. So it's all about your mind state. It's all about your mindset. It's all about your self-belief. But in PBC, they don't believe in self. They just think about, let's stretch this out as long as possible. Let's steal as much money as we can and then cash out. But the mentality should be like, let me hurry up, get a world champion, build a super fight. Let me get that super fight. Then all my other fights after that going to be super fights. That's just the mentality. That's what Al Heyman drilled into these guys' heads. And this is why they don't want to fight no top opposition. So at the end of the day, do you really want to see a coward, do something that he don't want to do? I don't really want to see it. He ain't built like that, but then let motherfuckers tell it, oh, the niggas in the hood is so much more superior. Hood niggas is so fear. Them niggas just autistic, bro. Ain't nothing good about a hood nigga. Them niggas is just autistic. They undiagnosed fucking autistic kids. Until reality set in, and then they understand. They always associate them with fear and tough but why when you go to jail, you know what I'm saying? Why when you go to jail, these niggas somebody bitches or they, you know what I'm saying? They ain't as tough as you think it is. Anybody can pull a trigger. And that's just the disclaimer. They some unemotional, undiagnosed autistic kid. Most hood niggas are undiagnosed autistic kids, bro. Emotionally unstable, can't articulate nothing. Emotionally unstable, quick to pull a trigger, quick to commit a crime, and then they quick to find out the consequences, and they want to holler and scream and cry and do all nah. He said, "Did you see Shakur in Africa in the phone booth? I tagged you. I never seen so much space in the phone booth before. No, I ain't see it. Gotta tag me again or send it DM me." But yeah, man, that's pretty much all I had to say, man. I'm gonna be long. I got any questions, I answer them. Y'all niggas arrogant in the chat. So y'all, I ain't gonna read all that shit. But he said we Big Crooks gave Cruz an interim title for the fight before. Oh, you talking about yeah, I seen that. The WBs, I mean, it is what it is. They take care of their people though. They take care. I mean, if he fights Shakur, I don't care, bro. At this point, they got it. They can do whatever they want. But y'all any questions? I'll wait a minute. If not, slide up out of here, man. I got places to be, people to see. It's kind of cold in here. This dog, he knocked out. Oh, you up now? Grumpy old man. So grumpy old man. You gotta do a stretch first. Come on, grumpy old man. Come on. He don't want to get up here. He grumpy. Wilder's about to be a world champion. Man, in what universe? Chisora about to send his wig. He about to send his wig back to America. If Wilder beat Chisora, I'd be highly surprised. Man, Chisora is about to clip his fucking wing. Man, Wilder's done, bro. When you seen that bitch leave, Wilder was done. And when the bitch leave, you know you done. Oh, man, let me get out of here. Appreciate y'all. Peace.